It's March 2023, and for our final year students, there's just 3 months left before they finish university and begin life as a graduate. Up in Glasgow, law finalist Ayten has been struggling to secure a graduate job.
In terms of how many applications I've submitted so far, I don't think I even have a number. I submitted quite a few. And in terms of how they've gone, I'm still waiting to hear back from one. But other than that, they haven't been very successful.
She's been frustrated with the lack of feedback in the selection process.
I think you definitely have to consider that these companies are getting thousands of applications. So it's unrealistic to expect that they are all done in person, but it really does take away from the more human element. You don't get proper feedback, in my opinion, even when you're doing these science-backed psychometric tests. Sometimes the feedback is even contradictory. You'll get different parts of the test that will tell you, one part will tell you that your response time is slow, but then another part will be that you think faster than other colleagues, and you can't really understand what that means unless maybe you have someone there to explain it to you and someone to speak to and to, bounce off of, to get that proper feedback and to do better next time.
Ayten is clear about the types of events that she's found best.
The way that I would prefer to meet employers, I think, is still on campus. I think after COVID, I do really crave to meet people in real life. It's much nicer. I have not attended many online events. I've attended a couple, but they didn't really allow for people to speak afterwards. It was more so lecturing style rather than speaking to people.
Ayten and her friends have become disillusioned with online testing.
I think that people are quite negative about finding jobs, and it's quite sad to see how these really bright individuals who are putting so much effort into their CV, whether it be through extracurriculars or part-time or full-time jobs, and seeing that their efforts almost seem like they're useless because you'll take a test and what if you're having an off day and that's it, you fail that application.
Job hunting will take a backseat for the next few months.
So my priorities for the rest of this academic year is to get my dissertation done. I am really going to focus on my exams. I think I've kind of shifted my priorities from applications more to my academics at the moment because I've realized that this is it. This is my last chance to do well and to get the grades that I want to get. And in terms of applications, I will still be applying, but I will be very picky with what it is that I decide to submit things for.
In Nottingham, economics finalist Othniel has been busy making job applications and has had some good news.
So since December, I made a few more applications. I had that internship offer, but since then I also have a graduate role at another investment bank, and which I did the final round just last week. So I'm waiting to hear back from that. But other than that, just a few applications here and there, and ultimately, the picture's largely unchanged.
Although he's secured an internship, he's still looking for his preferred role.
So I've had the internship and the graduate offer. I'd go for the graduate offer, primarily because of the job security that it provides. An internship, while most people do end up converting full-time, there's usually like a year delay. Some people do get to start immediately, but yeah, it's ultimately, I get more likely a year of experience, and again, the job security, which is, I think, really important in this job climate.
Othniel is generally optimistic about the job market.
I feel like for 2023, things aren't as bad as they might have looked in November, December, just because I think with the whole idea of a recession, if it is to happen, it's likely to happen probably next year, I think. So intake this year doesn't seem to be too effective, but what I didn't notice is with my friends, a lot of them have noticed that companies take a lot longer to get back to them. So some people, myself included, there was one interview I did in September, and they got back to me in December, early January, saying, "Oh, congratulations, you might be invited to the next round." It's like, oh, that's interesting. 3-month period, where I think in other years the turnaround time was a lot quicker.
While he may not have been successful with all his applications, Othniel can see that he's gained a lot from the process.
The whole application process, I feel like as a candidate you do learn a lot. So even getting to grips with interviews, the fact that I had to do so many, while annoying, there was a good side to it in that I learned more about how to articulate myself my strengths, my weaknesses, and also, kind of actually knowing how to tell other people about yourself.
Over in Liverpool, politics student Anna has had mixed success with her continuing job applications.
So since I last saw you, a lot has happened. I applied to the civil service fast stream, but I was rejected from that before the assessment centre. I also applied to the National Graduate Development Programme for LCR Combined Authority, and I'm having the assessment centre for that next week. I also applied to Charity Works, and I'm waiting for a response from them. And I've been successful in getting through to the LCR Business and Marketing graduate scheme, which will allow me to work in an SME in LCR.
She's also applied to the Treasury, where she's been through a tough final round.
So there's another application I made, which was to the Treasury to be a policy advisor. So I got through to the assessment centre for that, and I did that. It took about 4 hours. It was quite a grueling assessment centre I found, and that's the only one I've done online at the minute.
Anna's found it challenging to focus on job hunting when her studies take priority.
I think it is difficult to juggle doing your uni work as well as job hunting, because I think you can go down quite a bit of a rabbit hole with job hunting. Like, it often takes longer than I always think it will to apply. Like, I'll see a job and I'll think I'll apply for that, but then I've got to write out, my CV again. I've got to write out this and that. So I kind of, at the minute, I've taken a bit of a break because I've applied for all the ones that I definitely wanted to apply for. But when it was kind of right in the middle of it, it was definitely stressful, and I kind of spent a lot of time looking at jobs when I probably should have been doing uni work.
Now that the pandemic is over, Anna wants employers to go back to face-to-face interviews.
I think the online assessment centres are just not right anymore. I think that they don't work. I think my experience with the Treasury one, the people who ran it were great and they were really accommodating, but I had technical problems all the way throughout that I couldn't help, which just made it so much more stressful.
She wants to understand more about a prospective employer through in-person assessment.
In terms of kind of getting the feel for the company and things like that, I just don't think that you can. Obviously, you can judge the person that's interviewing you and you think, oh, they're really nice, but you don't really know, what their role is in the company or what everyone else is like. I don't think you have the opportunity to kind of speak to other candidates as well, the way that you probably would in an in-person assessment centre.
However, for her first job, she's happy to be flexible.
I think I'd like a hybrid way of working, but if it had to only be one, I would rather be in the office. So kind of just either flexible or kind of 1 or 2 days a week at home would be fine. I think working from home is great and you can be really productive, but I think not having the social aspect, not having the commute, I just don't think it's the best environment for anyone's mental health throughout their career, especially if it was for a long period of time.
And it looks like it's going to be a busy time during the summer.
I'll have to get a job over the summer. I'm hoping that I'll have a graduate scheme lined up for September, fingers crossed. So if I do, then I'll still have to get a job in the summer, but I will hopefully go on holiday or relax a little bit. I think if I don't get a graduate scheme, then I'll be a bit more panicked and think, right, okay, I need to sort something out.
In Aston, mechanical engineering student Mandy remains firmly committed to her role at Bentley Motors.
Having got a job offer before starting final year, I feel quite relieved because it means I don't have to go through the lengthy process of trying to find jobs that I think I would enjoy, that satisfy what I want to do in the future, as well as just giving me more chance, more opportunity to focus on my studies and to really use the stress that I would be using for jobs for my studies, which is, I guess, is positive.
However, not all of those on her course have been so lucky.
My friends who haven't secured a job yet, I can sense that quite a few of them are struggling because the competition is quite intense, and especially the ones that didn't do a placement year, they're finding it quite hard to sort of justify their work experience and the stuff that they've done so far and using it effectively in their application processes. So it's made me quite relieved as well that I've got a graduate job now, but I do recognise that a lot of my peers are struggling.
Mandy is particularly excited by the rotational nature of her graduate scheme.
I'm most looking forward to being able to go to different departments within the company and work for within different sectors such as the finance or sales and marketing or engineering and design, since my graduate scheme will be primarily manufacturing related. And I think this is really important because it gives me the opportunity to sort of gain experience in and use different skills and enhance my technical capabilities to problems in different contexts.
She's looking forward to some well-deserved time off before starting her new role in October.
Once I've graduated, I have around 4 months before I start my graduate scheme. I'm not too sure what I want to do yet because I feel like there's just too many options and too many ways that I could enjoy my summer. But at the moment, I think I definitely want to go solo traveling somewhere just to de-stress and to just, enjoy some natural scenery. Other than that, I'm not too sure yet. I kind of want to focus on my dissertation and the rest of my exams before I think of the next few months.